Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhist meditations. Today is June the 20th, 2019. June the 20th, 2019, which is a Thursday. And I'm just going to continue my teachings of the great works, the works I discovered, the treasures of the Venerable Master Singyun. These treasures are wonderful treasures of wisdom. I always compare them to Mr. Carter's discovery of the boy king, the Tutankhamun, the Egyptian king who was all embalmed in gold, in golden treasures. It was a fantastic discovery. And for Mr. Howard Carter, the British archaeologist, was working in ancient Egypt, trying to do these excavations, and then they just ran into gold. It was the golden remains of King Tutankhamun of Egypt. So this is exactly how my discoveries were in my search for wisdom, universal wisdom, just going through, search for decades of my life. I ran into this wonderful library of the great Master Singyun, who, of course, Master Singyun is the father of Fo Guangsheng. He's the founder of Fo Guangsheng, which is the largest Chinese Buddhist organization in the world, responsible for bringing Buddhism to Africa through the Nanhua Foundation in Bronkhorstspruit, South Africa. I continue with the tremendous wisdom I discovered in this collection. Many people tend to seek help outside of themselves, depending on others for assistance. They make demands on everyone, relatives, friends, and society. When a person relies completely on the support of others, he or she may become short on inner strength and may lose the ability to continue on with life once the external support is withdrawn. It is too precarious to always count on others. Therefore, we must all learn to depend on ourselves, the most reliable friend of all. What skills do we need in order to rely on ourselves? In other words, how do we establish self-fulfillment? We must affirm ourselves if we cannot. One, I hope you're writing now. I'm beginning to get into the treasures, the treasure keys, what I call the golden keys. One, we must affirm ourselves if we cannot even affirm our own moral values, knowledge, ability, motivation, and compassion, then how can we expect others to grant us their trust and approval? I take it again. One, we must affirm ourselves. If we cannot even affirm our own moral values, Master Singyun writes, our own moral values, knowledge, ability, motivation, and compassion, then how can we expect others to grant us their trust and approval? I should have taken down some of these notes by now. Two, we must respect ourselves. Let's carry ourselves with dignity and grace and have values that we respect. We must respect ourselves. When we do not respect ourselves, we lack dignity. When we do not respect ourselves, folks, we lack dignity, grace. A person must first have self-respect before he or she can gain it from others. To earn the respect of others, our speech should be meaningful and our actions should be beneficial to others. 3, we must be at ease with ourselves. Sometimes we become agitated because of a minor comment or a perceived slight from others. A well-known Buddhist story, blown across the river by a stir of air, tells of such an incident involving Su Dongpo, one of the 8 famous poets of the Tang and Song dynasties. Su Dongpo thought he had mastered meditation to the point where he would no longer be influenced by others. Su never imagined that one subtle comment from Chan Master Fo Yin would send him rushing across the river in anger. Likewise, we should all learn to be at ease with ourselves and not be easily irritated by others. 4. The fourth golden key now. If you are jotting notes, taking notes, we must be happy and peaceful. We must be happy and peaceful with ourselves. We frequently base our happiness on sensory amusements or on receiving things from others. Then, when these things are absent, we have very little sense of inner joy and may even believe that life is meaningless. However, if we can be like Chan masters, who are full of inner joy, even though they keep their eyes closed and refrain from seeing and hearing during meditation, then we too can find happiness and serenity. Such peace and Dharma joy generated from within, is the ultimate way to nurture our lives. Now I'm going to summarize these golden treasures I discovered in the wonderful collection of our most venerable Master Singing. These are just treasures of incredible, wonderful wisdom which I run into, dealing with all aspects of your life and mine. Therefore, to rely on oneself, one must do the following. To rely on oneself, one must do the following. 1. We must affirm ourselves. 2. We must respect ourselves. 3. We must be at ease with ourselves. And finally, 4. We must be happy and peaceful with ourselves. Folks, reflect and meditate on these wonderful treasures of wisdom. Namo Amitofo.